Hello, beautiful friends and soul family. Thank you for joining me back on Spiritual Growth Journeys. Um, so I hope you all are hanging in there. The energy has been pretty crazy. I want to kind of share with you a little that happened to me today, and thank God for the grass. That's all I can say. Um, so I had to go into the city today. I live out in the country. I'm a country mouse, and I had to drive into the city, and I had to go to a physical therapy appointment. And um, when I drove into the city, when I got to the place where the physical therapy was, I started to feel weird. And I started to feel like I walked into the building and immediately my head started to feel like all this pressure, like it was going to explode kind of. And I thought, that's kind of interesting. And then I went and I sat down and I was in the seat for a while and we were doing stuff because therapy's on my hands. So I'm sitting in a seat and they're working on my hands on this table. And then at the end, I had to get up and wash my hands so the therapist could put tape on my hand. And when I got up to wash my hands, I had like this rush that was really scary. And the best way to explain it is it literally felt like all this heat, like really hot, like it literally felt like I was being burned alive, and it started in my back and went all the way up into my head, and then my head actually had all this pressure and heat, and it felt like my head was going to explode off my body. I've never had this happen before. The closest thing that I've had is I have hot flashes all the time, which for me is Ascension symptoms because I already went through menopause 10, 11 years ago, and I've had multiple doctors check my hormones and tell me there's no reason at all why I should be having continual hot flashes every 10 minutes, basically. Actually, they were every 20 minutes, and now they're getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm getting hardly any sleep at night because they're all night long. They're the worst of all. And no matter what kind of sleeping drugs or sleeping pills or sleeping herbs or whatever, marijuana, whatever the heck I do, nothing will make me sleep because the hot flashes are so intense. I can't sleep through them. They literally wake me out of a dead sleep. So I'm in the city today and it felt like my head was going to explode. And then it felt like I was having a stroke. Like it literally felt like I was having a stroke or something. It was really quite awful. And it was so bad that then I left and I got in my car and I started to have shortness of breath and I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. All this pressure in my chest, shortness of breath. Heart was like racing really crazy and almost like palpitating and doing weird arrhythmias and just acting crazy. Went to a store um, and got a few things and was feeling really awful. And I was considering asking someone to like call my family or something to come get me because I had literally felt like I was dying or something. It was that bad. And I'm like, no, 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 my family will get really angry. If I do that, I have to tough this out. So I went in the car and I sat and I did some breathing. That was the first thing I did. I just sat and I did the heart chakra sound, which is and did some, major breathing. Um, I called in Yeshua and team, and I was actually having an argument with them. I'm like, come on, angels, I really need your help here because I feel like I'm gonna freaking die. And I was praying like that for quite a while. I went over to another place because I was running all these errands. So I went over to this other place. I had to go get a passport photo because my passport's expiring. And so I got a passport photo, and the whole time I was in the passport place, it's like I couldn't formulate like a sentence. Like I was trying to talk to the lady and I couldn't even talk normal. It's like my brain was like short circuiting or something. It was really kind of scary. Like I was having a stroke or something, which I didn't have an actual stroke. So if you're wondering if I did, the answer is no. It just felt really awful, but it wasn't an actual stroke. Why do I know? Because I'm a medical intuitive and I'm a psychic and I'm able to ask my guides. Oh, am I having a stroke? Do I need to call 911? Whatever. So, then I went back in the car again and I had to drive all the way home. And it's a really far trip to drive home because, again, I live out in the country and this is the city. So I was just praying and praying in my car and just doing some breathing before I started driving. And I put on this music that I listen to that makes me feel real peaceful and calm. And it just, I can't even explain it. It was like somebody switched a flip or flipped a switch. Sorry, I can't even talk now because I'm so tired. Somebody flipped a switch. Sorry, my brain's still like having a delayed reaction from whatever the hell happened earlier. But anyways, and I was just calm and peaceful because I was actually having a massive anxiety attack. And then I started to have a panic attack many years ago, when my kids were just born. When I was a new mom, it was really overwhelming for me and I had no support at all. Zero support because my parents live 1,500 miles away and I wasn't getting along with my mom anyways. My in-laws were really old and couldn't help me. And then my father-in-law died anyways, and my mother-in-law couldn't deal with anything. So I didn't really have any support from anyone. It was just me and my husband, and he was working 24/7 to support our family. But back then, I had some serious issues with anxiety. I developed like an anxiety disorder and I developed panic attacks. I'd have constant panic attacks. And they were so bad, they were disabling me to the point where I couldn't leave the house. I was like housebound, couldn't leave the house at all, couldn't drive my car. Every time I get in the car, like my leg would freeze up and I couldn't drive the car. Couldn't move my foot to drive the car. I mean, it was just awful. And I was like a deer in the headlights and having just continuous panic attacks all the time. They put me on drugs, which is what they do, big pharma. They stick you on big pharma. And that made me worse. I had like horrible side effects that were 1,000 times worse. And it didn't do much. So I went and started meditating. This is back 20, 4 years ago or whatever, something like that. Started meditating, went and got cognitive behavioral therapy, did some EFT, worked with an EFT coach, which is emotional freedom techniques, did what they call tapping, tap, 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 tap. Anyways, did that. And did positive like mental like programming, like reprogramming my thoughts for positive, positive beliefs and all that. Did tons of healing with so many healers. You have no idea how many healers I worked with to heal. And I pretty much put myself into full remission after a while of anxiety and panic attacks and all that. But what happened to me today just blew my mind because after I was having all this stuff, then I started to feel like I was having a panic attack come on like I did many years ago. And I'm like, what the hell? I haven't had one of these like this, where it feels like this, where I feel this weird burning sensation in my back. I can't even explain it to you how it starts, but it's just a really icky feeling overall. And, I just, I felt like I was having starting to get a panic attack. And so I just started to like sing, really just burst out in song. And that shut it off immediately. When I started to sing, I started doing some chanting and it started to do all this kind of like chant, like toning and stuff and just praying. And I asked Yeshua, and actually I also asked St. Francis of Assisi to come in and make me a channel of his peace, you know? And it just like somebody flipped a switch and I just felt, I was doing this chanting, I was praying, I asked for peace, and then it's like literally a switch and I was just boom, calm. And I was able to drive all the way home feeling perfectly fine. I literally felt fine, like nothing had happened. Like my heart was calm. my breathing wasn't labored anymore because I was like having shortness of breath. That went away. The weird squeezing, like exploding sensation in my head went away. Um, just a lot of stuff went away. I'm not sure if I was being demonically attacked, or psychically attacked or voodoo or black magic or whatnot. Not really sure. Or if I was being hit by a directed energy weapon the whole time. I'm not really sure what was going on with that. I just know it was really scary, and I don't know that I want to know what was going on. I'm gonna like leave that in the past. But the minute I got home, I took my shoes and socks off and went and got a cotton towel and sat on my grass. I needed a towel because my grass was a little bit wet. Sat on the grass and put my bare feet on the grass, walked around barefoot on the grass, and then sat and meditated in the sun, and asked the sun for healing. And I asked it to calm my vagus nerve and my nervous system down. Um, and I sat and did that for like, I don't know, an hour maybe, sat out in the sun, meditating and stuff. And by the time I was done, it was like nothing had ever happened earlier. It's like you had never known any of that shit happened to me because I just felt so balanced, so calm, so peaceful. So the moral to the story, folks, whether you're having ascension symptoms, which will cause heart palpitations and head weirdness and dizziness and vertigo and all kinds of crazy shit, because you can read Ascension 101 and you'll see a whole list of ascension symptoms, and they're all quite nasty. Well, actually, I take it back because there's a list of good ascension symptoms too. You've got good ones and you've got bad ones, but the bad ones are bad. We've got that. We've got solar flares, what they call CME, coronal mass ejections going on. We've got the Schumann resonance craziness. We've got directed energy weapons. There's been earthquakes going on all over the world, and that's because they're blowing up dams right now like crazy. They're collapsing all the dams everywhere. And so you could be demonically attacked, you could be psychically attacked, you could be attacked with dark magic or voodoo. There's just so many things going on that are affecting all of us, not just me, but all of you. And so this whole experience reminds me to remind you to get your ass out of the house, go out in nature, sit your butt on the grass, talk to Mother Gaia. I had a chat with her. I put my hands on her, my feet on her, and I told her how much I love her. And I said, the only reason I'm here is for you. I'm here, to help the people who are ready to ascend, but I came back for her because she's amazing and beautiful and incredible. And I love her. And so I told her I loved her, but I really connected with her. And when I was done doing that for an hour in the sun, because the sun also helped, because you receive healing from the sun will heal your body. There's actually a famous doctor, I don't remember his name, but there's videos all over the internet about this one guy that's talking about how the sun heals your body, and that you need to get out in the sun every single day, and you're actually getting upgraded, you're getting healed, getting so much from the sun. And so I'm just here to remind you all that as we're going through all this nasty shit, because it is going to keep getting more and more and more of these events and more crappy stuff happening, because let's just say it's out with the old and with the new, and the old's going to go out with a bang, and that's what it wants to do. When we say old, we're talking old systems, all the old cabal systems. So things on the earth are going to be kind of rough. And I'm not going to talk about the political stuff going on and the people running for a certain office on this channel, because YouTube will shut me down if I do that. I would really love to talk about what's going on with all the people dying suddenly, and how there's actually in the media, in the mainstream media, on the front of magazines and on stuff on social media, it's actually saying, why are so many young 20-year-olds dying of a heart attack? It's like, duh. Anyways, we're not going to go into all the details about that kind of stuff today, because that will get me kicked off of YouTube, unfortunately. So don't want to talk about that here. But what I do want to talk to you about is a few things. I want to talk to you about making yourself a channel of peace. Okay, this was a song, a prayer from St. Francis of Assisi, which is make me a channel of your peace. The biggest thing that you can do for yourself right now to make it through all this horrible shit that's coming down. You may have days like I do where I just feel so overwhelmed. I want to crawl into like a corner of my closet and shut the closet door and just hide there for a year until all this shit's over. It gets really overwhelming and really exhausting. And I'm human too. And even though I'm a teacher and I'm here to help you all, I'm still always working on myself, and growing and getting better and learning more things and new things. But I'm a human. I make mistakes just like everyone else. And I'm having a hard time. I'll be honest. I'm having a really hard time with the energies. I'm having a hard time with the fact that I, as angelic, my higher self's an angelic being that's here from a higher density, I'm processing all the grief and trauma of the collective through me. And it's really hard on my body. It's really hard on my emotions. It's just hard on everything. I have days where I just sit and cry because I'm processing so much trauma for everybody. And I've told my guides, my spirit guides, Yeshua and all my team over and over every day, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't consent to processing all this shit for everybody anymore. It's just not okay. But it's not changing. For some reason, I got roped into some contract that's not being taken down because I've asked for it to be shut down repeatedly, and they're not shutting it down. So, was I going to say? What's really important is every day, starting this moment, like right now in this moment, you need to start to become a channel of peace. You need to start to become a channel of peace. You need to have peace in your home. And that can mean anything from setting up a special room or a corner of your house where you can just sit and play some music and meditate and just have peace. Or maybe your peace is in the shower, with really good smelling shampoo and soap, or you take a bubble bath or an Epsom salt bath, or you go get a pedicure, or you go walk in nature, or you go sit your butt on your grass like I did today in the sun and meditate. But you need to be working really hard every day to create that peace as your nervous system is getting all bent out of shape, because I'm not the only one whose nervous system is getting a butt kicking. All of you are. Everybody who's ascending, your nervous system is just getting put through the ringer right now. And what will happen is your adrenals will burn out if you don't do something to mitigate it. So how you're going to mitigate it is you're going to write a list for yourself. This is all of you homework I'm assigning. You got to make a list of all of the things that you can think of off the top of your head and then some. And if you don't know, go and research ways to find peace in life and write a list of things, whether it's sitting and reading a book, sunbathing, getting a pedicure, getting a massage. I'm going to go get a massage on Friday. Whatever it is that can give you that peace, that calm, being balanced, being grounded, being centered, whether it's breathing, breath work. I'm going to be actually, my next class I'm creating is actually a breath work class that I'm going to do. I'm going to be off of here starting on, and I'm going to warn you all about this. So starting on September 28th until October 20th, I am taking like a 3-week break from all social media. The reason why is I need to do it for myself, for my own health and my sanity. And during that time period, I will be going on a little vacation trip as well somewhere. I'll tell you all about it when I get back. I don't ever talk about that kind of stuff on social media for different reasons. When I get back, I will talk about it. And it's just me. I'm going to have people staying in my house while I'm gone and taking care of my cat for me and all that kind of thing in the house and the property and all that, which will be good. But I'm going to be doing that for a while, and I'm just going to take a break. So you won't see any videos from me starting on the 28th. I might make 1 or 2 more if I have time. Definitely 1 more before I go off social media, but I'm going to go off social media. I'll be back on social media after the 20th. Trying to think what else I was going to tell you all about that. So if any of you email me, text message me, send me videos like everybody does every day, I get a lot of you sending me messages daily. Anybody who messages me during the 3 weeks time, I'm not going to be answering you. Sorry. I need a break. I really do, for sanity purposes, because I'm honestly feeling extremely overwhelmed right now. I have a lot going on with my family right now in my personal life. I have a lot going on with friends of mine that are struggling, who I'm supporting and trying to help right now. I've got a lot going on, helping clients every week. And I want to create my new class. I want to take time for that to create the new class. So I'm going to take that 3-week break. And I won't be seeing any clients. Actually, I'll have a few clients during that time period, actually. And I'm actually booked, just so you all know, if you want to get in to see me, I am now consistently booked 3 to 4 months out. So right now I'm booked up until mid-December. And if you want to get in sooner, if you book with me in mid-December, and you want to get in sooner, you can just message me and say, put me on your cancel list, and then I can call you if somebody cancels. And I have a lot of you who will say, when they find out how far in advance I'm booked, they'll say, oh, well, I'll just wait until December and then I'll try to book with you. No, wrong. Because then you're not getting in until probably March or April. So if you want to get in at all, you have to do it right when you want to do it now. And then you'll get in December, because if you wait till December, then I'm still going to be booked at 4 or 5, maybe even longer out. Who knows? I have time. Last year, when was it, a year or two ago, I had a period of time where I was booked out 8 months. So, so right now I'm booked out 3 months. So that's actually really good. That's actually not bad at all. So if you want to work with me, you want to get in there. But I just wanted to let you all know about that. So what I want you to do for your homework is I want you to all write down a list of all the things in your life that give you that peace and balance and calm, and try to make sure you're doing those every day to nourish your nervous system. There are some herbs that are really good, and keep in mind, I'm not a doctor. I cannot diagnose anyone or treat anyone or prescribe any medication. But what I take for stress and tension to keep my adrenals healthy and nervous system calm is I will do teas with like chamomile and lemon balm and passion flower. Those are all very calming for the nervous system and the adrenals. And for adrenal support, I will do B complex vitamins, B12 especially, really important, licorice root extract, and a fun little thing called the ashwagandha. It comes from India. It's an adaptogen. It actually adapts to your body, and it's really good for your heart. And it's been around for 4,000 years at least. They've been using it in what's called Ayurvedic medicine, which is the traditional country medicine of India. And that's the natural medicine they've been using in India for thousands of years. And ashwagandhas, they use it to treat all sorts of things, heart stuff, I think blood pressure too. I'm not sure, but adrenals is the big one. Great way to nurture your adrenals. Another thing that you can take when you have adrenal stuff is Siberian ginseng, which is also an adaptogen. You don't want to do the Korean ginseng. You want to do specifically the Siberian ginseng. It's more of an adaptogen, and it's better. The other thing you can do is called Eleuthero, I believe is what it's called. That's another one. Any of the mushrooms, any kind of mushroom kind of stuff, like your lion's mane and your shiitake and maitake and reishi and cordyceps is really good for your adrenals and your immune system and a lot of that. So those are some things. Also making sure you're taking plenty of vitamin C, plenty of magnesium. Everybody needs a minimum of like 400 to 500 milligrams of magnesium every single day. One of the best absorbed magnesiums is glycinate, and it also helps you sleep at night. It relaxes all your muscles. One that's really good for healing the nerves specifically is called magnesium threonate. And that's one specifically for the brain, actually, for brain function and nerves. But I use glycinate myself, and I use it at bedtime. I take a few before I go to bed. In fact, it's late at night right now. It's actually 11:01. It's exactly 11:01 right now. Like my 101 book. It's 11:01. And I just took some magnesium, and then I'm going to go make a tea in a bit. When I get off of here, I'm going to make a tea with some sleeping herbs, some chamomile and lemon balm and stuff like that, so that I can sleep good tonight, and maybe add a little CBD in there and that kind of thing to relax me. So, and some melatonin too. Got to do that. And by the way, melatonin is also really, really good for your adrenals and stuff. So a lot of people are deficient in melatonin. So, so those are the things I use to keep my adrenals from tanking, because of all the stress and all the overwhelm that I have. And I actually, oh, and I also use the X39 patches, which the link is down below in the description to the Lifewave patches. Lifewave makes a whole bunch of patches for everything. They have them for weight loss. They have them for your mitochondria and your cells, and for stem cells, releasing stem cells into your body to rebuild everything in your body, to rejuvenate you. I went and I had my passport picture done, and I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just stating a fact. I had a passport picture done, and I looked at the picture and I said, holy shit, I looked like 20 years younger in that picture. Part of why, and I noticed every day, like I had these saggy jowls, and the saggy jowls are reversing and going away. And all the lines here are going away. And the reason why is because I'm using these Lifewave patches. There's one that you use for your skin. There's a specific one that's for the skin. And I put it on every night before I go to bed. I sometimes put it right over my third eye because it helps with that as well. It helps detox your third eye. But they use light phototherapy is what they use, in copper peptides. And then I use the X39 during the day, and the Aeon for anti-inflammatory. And then I use a glutathione patch. And all of these things are reversing my age. They're basically, these patches are like a med bed in a patch, because they literally reverse you on a cellular level back in time. So my skin is changing, and I looked at the picture. That's like, and I was complaining to the lady about how I take horrible pictures. I'm not very photogenic, and all of my driver's license pictures are terrible. My passport pictures are always like the worst. My old one was horrible. And I took this picture, and it was like the best passport picture I've ever taken. And the lady even said, "Oh my God, this is such a good picture. You look so good." And I looked at it, I was just shocked, and I'm realizing it's from these patches I'm using. So I went to my naturopath recently, and I had some blood work done, because my adrenals were shot to hell the last time I was in there, and that was like a year ago. Okay, so a year ago. And this is before I started using the patches. I went and had my adrenals checked, and they were perfect. They were perfect. And she said, I don't understand. You're under so much stress. How is this possible that your adrenals are perfect with all the stress? She's like, you're under way more stress now than you ever were. She's like, what are you doing? The patches. The patches. I'm doing these patches. I'm doing these Lifewave patches. And and actually all the blood, they tested my blood for all these different things, and everything had improved like in a 1 year period. And that's just since I've been on these patches, and I've only been on the patches like 6 months or something. I haven't even been on them that long. 6 months, 5, 6 months, something like that. It hasn't been that long. And everything has reversed. Like all of my numbers were good. My inflammation was like at 0. I had like no inflammation. And then I had my other doctor check all those numbers too. I had a whole CBC done on my blood, and no inflammation. And that was because of the patches, because before I started using the patches, I had a lot of inflammation. So I highly recommend these patches. I have a link to them in the description. It's Lifewave company. And Maria Bernardis got me into this. Thank you, Maria. If you're watching this video, I love you. She is awesome. And if it wasn't for her, I'd still be with adrenal burnout and who knows what. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. So there's a lot of things you can do for yourself right now during this time where we're getting bombarded with so much stress. Meditating daily is so important. I meditated this morning for a while, and then I meditated again after I had my little event where I'm guessing I was attacked by demons, is what I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure because that's what they're doing these days. It felt demonic to me. It felt like a demonic attack. So, anyways, you need to take care of yourself, whether it's taking a bubble bath or whatever, you got to take care of yourself. And the more nurturing you can do, and keep in mind, self-care is not being selfish. It's the opposite, because you cannot be there for your family, your elderly parents you're taking care of, your children, your husband, whoever, wife. You can't be there for these people or your clients even if you're dead or you're in the hospital or you're sick or something. So you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. It's really, really, really important. And so right now what I want to do is I want to do a little guided meditation with y'all. So I'm not going to turn on any music because I don't have any license to have I don't have any music here that I allowed to run in the background on my video without getting somebody suing me for whatever. So I'm just going to guide you through a meditation, just to find some peace. Okay, this is a peace meditation for you all to help you find that balance and peace. So what I want you to do is find a comfortable spot. If you need to pause this video and go get all set up, then go for it. Make sure you have a pillow behind your back if you're sitting and that you're comfortable, or you're lying down on a bed or on a couch or whatever you want to do. Just you can hit pause and go and do that. But I want to kind of run you through a guided meditation. And so I'm gonna take a little pause here just to let people do whatever they need to do. Make sure if you're going to be sitting and doing this meditation that you're sitting perfectly straight, because when your spine is all curved over, which you'll learn in my meditation course that I have pre-recorded on the internet on Learn It Live. One of the things about meditating is if you're all slumped over, then all your muscles are like having to tense up and everything. The best way to relax for meditation is to be sitting nice and straight and having really good posture, because when you're sitting really straight, then you don't need to have all of this tension in your body happening, because if you're when you're slumping, then you have tension in the body, and when you have tension in the body, you get tension in the mind. And that is the precept of mindfulness meditation, is when there's tension in the body or tension anywhere, it causes tension in the brain. And you want your brain to be calm and peaceful. So you have to make sure you're either laying down comfortably or sitting comfortably, and that your back is very nice and straight and there's zero tension. Okay, so close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes who's watching this video. And I want you to imagine that there's a beautiful, beautiful ball of light from Creator. It's coming down from Source, this big ball, and it's about 2 feet over your head where your star chakra is, solar star chakra. And this big ball of light kind of opens up, and it just like pours a waterfall of white light over the top of your body, pours it over your head. And you're relaxing your jaw, and your eyes are softening in your head. And it pours over your neck, and your neck muscles and your vertebrae are relaxing, letting all the tension, releasing all the tension out of your neck. And over your shoulders, this white diamond crystal light pouring over your shoulders and relaxing your shoulders, and down your arms, and into your hands and relax all your fingers. Put your intention on each finger to relax it and just let it go. And just imagine that all these parts of your body are turning into a popsicle that is melting in the sun. You are melting like a popsicle. So see this white light pouring through your chest and relax your heart. Relax your back and your spine. And relax your lower abdomen. And relax your bottom. And relax your legs and your knees and your feet. And just see this white light just pouring all the way down through your body. It's just hitting every organ in your body, swirling around your heart, just clearing that all out. All the tension is leaving your body now. And the white light is coming out of your feet and attaching you or connecting you down into Mother Gaia, into the earth. This white light, it's beaming out of your feet like roots and going all the way down into the ground, Mother Gaia. Okay. Now, hopefully you're relaxed. And just take 3 really deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, just like and just relax further into your chair or your bed or your couch, wherever you are. In your mind screen, you have like a movie screen in your mind. I want you to imagine that you are floating down a river of love. It's like this pink, it's like a river that's made out of this pink liquid. It's just liquid love. And you're walking into this river and you're just floating, laying back in this pink gooey stuff and just floating, and it just feels soft and it smells good and it feels soft and warm. It feels very warm, like bath water. Just feel this warm bath water like substance around you, and it's almost got kind of a foggy appearance to it too, but it's all pink. It's like this fuzzy, warm pink that resonates with your heart chakra. And you look up in the sky, see yourself looking up in the sky, and you see this beautiful sun. And the sun is not this white sun that we've had. The sun is the old sun we had that was this beautiful golden sun that we had all of our lives growing up. Absolutely beautiful. Like in my Ascension 101 book picture. Beautiful golden sun up in the sky. And the sun is shining down on your solar plexus, which has to do with your nervous system and your adrenals. Your nervous system and adrenals are connected to your solar plexus. So I want you to imagine that the sun is like shining a ray of golden light down on your solar plexus now. And as the light is shining, it is relaxing and calming your nerves, your nervous system, and your adrenals. It's calming them all down and infusing you with peace, just peace. And this golden light actually represents Christ consciousness, and you are being given the peace of Christ and the peace of Saint Francis of Assisi. Make me a channel of your peace. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. This beautiful golden sun just shining down on your solar plexus, filling it up with love and light and Christ consciousness, and healing your nervous system, healing your adrenals, strengthening all of it, healing your solar plexus and making it balanced and strong. And you're floating down this pink river that resonates with this beautiful heart chakra frequency of love, unconditional love. And you just feel that unconditional love. It's almost like you're being wrapped in a blanket by Mother Gaia, Mother Tara Gaia. She's wrapping you, the Sophia, wrapping you in this beautiful divine mother, divine feminine water that's more, it's almost like you're being wrapped in a pink fur coat. It's very warm and fluffy and soft. And it's giving you a love hug. Just feel that coming around you and just hugging you and giving you this feeling of love. And now I want you to imagine that as you're floating down this river, you get to a beautiful waterfall, beautiful blue waterfall. And imagine that you decide to stand underneath this waterfall. And the waterfall is raining down this beautiful sky blue colored, peaceful, warm water that it just feels like peace. It's just peace. And it's just pouring over your head and over your shoulders and over your whole body, just making you feel so calm, so peaceful. Any tensions that you've had all week are gone. They're being totally dissolved by this water that is pouring over you now. It's just absolutely peaceful and wonderful. Just lift your hands up and just imagine you're feeling this water pouring into your hands and pouring down your body and everywhere. And it's warm and it's soothing. It's the color of the throat chakra. And just allowing you to just experience that blissful peace, just pure bliss and peace and joy. Just see yourself just enjoying all this water. Maybe you see some birds flying by and some fishes swimming by. And it just feels like a wonderful, wonderful day. Ooh, it can be tired. All right. Now imagine yourself coming out of that pond that the water falls in. There's a big pond there. And you're just walking out of the pond. And you come back into your body and you wiggle your toes and your hands and you open your eyes. How do you all feel? Hopefully nice and calm and peaceful. I feel calm and peaceful just guiding you through that. It made me yawn. Sorry. But that's the kind of thing that you can do to give yourself peace if you want to go back and replay this video as many times as you need and guide yourself through that meditation. I'd be happy if you did that. That would make me very happy. So I'm here to help you. That's why the reason I came here back to this terrible prison planet. After 2000 years of not being in a body, I was here as a guardian angel to a lot of people. I was guarding Native American tribes. I was guarding Mayan shamans down in Mexico. I was guarding pirates. I was even guarding Mark Twain. He was one of my clients, and when I was in my angelic form. Anne Bonny and Mary Read were a couple of my clients. They were famous pirates. Had a lot of different people. I had Lakota Indian tribes I was taking care of. And that's what I was doing for the last 2000 years until I decided to help with this ascension. And, you know, the whole reason I'm here on the earth for thousands of years in the first place is for Mother Gaia. Like I initially came here for her thousands of years ago, but why I came back into a body now is to help all of you. And when I say you, I'm not talking about the whole earth. I am not here to help all the humans. I'm only here to help the humans who are ready to ascend. They want to ascend. They want to learn more. They want to do what it takes to basically find that, permanent bliss and happiness that we're going to have soon, and create heaven on earth, basically. All the people who are ready to create heaven on earth, that is who I'm here for. So I'm here to help you. And I just have one important announcement. Actually two. I have two important announcements. So number one important announcement is that I am offering a fall sale, like fire sale or whatever, fall fire sale. No, just kidding. Not really a fire sale, but the trees are going to look like fire pretty soon because they're going to be orange and red and yellow and all those colors. So they look like they're blazing away sometimes. But I'm having a fall sale, and the fall sale is 20% off of all of my classes. So my classes are on learnitlive.com, and I'll have the link in the description down below. But basically it's learnitlive.com, and it's / Kimberly Palm is what it is. It's HTTPS with the colon and the / learnitlive.com / Kimberly Palm. And that is my page with all my classes. I have 10 classes up there. I've got meditation classes. I've got energy healing classes. I've got pendulum dowsing classes. I've got guided meditations on there. I've got one specifically for children. I've got a past life regression course on there that you can do for yourself. It's not for you to go do that on other people. It's to do that specifically on yourself, a past life regression. And I've got that. I've got a water and sacred geometry healing class, lots of healing stuff on there. So everything is on sale for 20% off. I wish I could make it 50, but the problem with that is Learn It Live takes a huge chunk of the money. All of these, just so you all know, I shopped all the different companies or websites where you can offer classes and record them and have them up indefinitely on their website. And they all took huge amounts of money. Some of them took 60%, some 70% of your money. A lot of them, most of them took at least 50%. And these guys took the lowest percent of all of them, but they still take still a pretty good sized chunk of the money. So if I were to discount it a bunch, then I'm going to be left with like a buck or two, like nothing. So that's why I can't do any more than that, but 20% is pretty good. And I'll be honest with y'all, my classes are already priced super affordable. I mean, I just did a brand new class recently. It's only $27. Rock and Crystal 101. If you want to learn how to use rocks and crystals for healing, protection, everything, gridding your house. I had a basic 101, how to use rocks and crystals, how to pick them, buy them, use them, set them up, everything, charge them, bless them, the whole 9 yards. $27, and then you get 20% off of that. So it's virtually like less than a cup of coffee probably nowadays, because they charge a lot of money for coffee. Or at least less than a few cups of coffee. But yeah, I'm offering that fall sale, and that will go on through the end of September. So September 30th or 31st, whatever that is, the last day of this month, that will be the end of the sale. And the code that you want to enter when you check out is fall, the word fall capitalized with the 20 in it. So all one word, fall 20. And the fall is capitalized. And I will have this info in the description below. So you don't need to worry too much about that. And then if for some reason you can't find the info, there's some of you that are technically challenged. I get it. There's a lot of older people who have an issue with technology. And I used to be very much that way, but I've grown in my technology learning over, the last few years. So I know a little more now. But for all of you who are having a problem finding it in the description for whatever reason, you can always go to my website, and I have a classes page. And of course, my website is spiritualgrowthjourneys.com, all one word, Spiritual Growth Journeys. You can go there, and I have a classes page, and it has all the descriptions of every one of the classes. You can click and pop up a box with the descriptions and the price, and then you can click to go register for the class. So there's always that. So that's the first announcement, is I'm doing that fall sale between now and the 31st of September. And we're in the year 2024 for anybody who's watching this video a year or two later, or 3 years or 5 years later, or whatever. That is when that sale is. It's temporary, and it's in 2024 September. So the next announcement is we are registering ladies for our women's retreat in North Carolina in the mountains of Asheville, where people see UFOs and Bigfoot all day long because there's portals there. Very high vibe place. There's lots of spiritual workers and light workers and healers there in that area, huge concentration. We're having our women's retreat in the Great Smoky Mountain National Forest at a house there. And it's a 10-minute drive to hotels and restaurants of Asheville, literally a 10-minute drive, but it's mountainous area, forested area. It's really beautiful. And there's a lot to do for families. So if you want to take your whole family and make it a vacation, you can take 3.5 days to join the retreat, and then have your family sightseeing during the day. And then you can join them for dinner in the evening, and make it a whole week or 2 week long thing. And then you'll have plenty of time to go hang out and do things with your family, because it's a big destination for a lot of people, because you got the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, which is one of our nation's most incredible national parks, with lots of waterfalls and just beautiful everywhere. And you might see some UFOs there at night. I wouldn't be surprised. So we're doing that June 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, I believe. I think that's when it is. I'm pretty sure that's when it is June 20th through the 23rd. Let me look at my calendar just to make sure. Yeah, so it's Friday, June 20th, Saturday, June 21st, Sunday, June 22nd, and then we have a ceremony we do the first part of Monday, June 23rd. So you would come in on a Thursday night. If you did that, you'd fly into Asheville on Thursday night. And it would start promptly at 8:30, 9 in the morning on Friday, the 20th of June. And then the whole thing is over with Monday afternoon, the 23rd. And we adjourn for dinner. The last women's retreat we had evening events going on. But the problem with that is then us women, myself, Sarah Nash, and Rosemary Levesque, who did this retreat and facilitated it, we were freaking exhausted because we weren't getting any downtime at all. And it was just too much. So I needed to have a vacation from that because it was just too much. So what we decided we're going to do is do classes all day, and then you're free from dinner time on in the evening. And that's how we're doing it. So there's a link below in the description to register for that. And we have a whole website that explains all the classes that you're going to learn. We do a bunch of healing. We do, of course, you make new sister friends there. You get to meet lots of like-minded sisters. Last year we had I think 28 ladies who came. This year we only have spots for 20. Okay. And the reason we have spots for 20 is because it's a smaller venue than we had last year. We had a bigger venue. It was a big mansion. It was actually a Victorian mansion, and it was huge. So we had lots of room for people. But this year we just have 20 spots, and we already have 5 people signed up. So now we have 15 spots open. I have literally 5 other ladies who said, oh, I'm signing up. They haven't signed up yet, but they claim they're signing up. So you probably want to beat them to the punch. I highly recommend, you go and sign up as soon as you can. June will be here faster than you know it. It's 9 months away. You get better airfare. I was a travel agent, and you get your best airfare deals when you book 6 months or more out for airfare. Preferably a year out is going to get you better deals. They lie about the fact on the internet that people will lie and say, oh, if you wait till the last minute, you get the best deals. That's actually a lie. If you talk to any of the airlines, they will tell you is as the seat and the seats fill up and the plane fills up, the prices actually go up because there's a premium. Because if you have 30 seats on a small plane and 28 of them are already full, then the last 2 seats are going to go for a premium, not a discount, because nowadays they fill all these planes all the time. Everywhere I fly, all the time, they're trying to ask people to stand down, and they're like, oh, we have an overly full flight. We'll give you a certificate if you're willing to not go on this flight. So I have been flying nonstop for years, and for the last several years, I'm yet to see a plane that was partially empty or even had any empty seats at all. Every flight I've ever been on in the last several years has been packed. So anybody who thinks you're going to get a deal by waiting till the last minute, you're kidding yourselves with travel, because as that plane fills up, because flights are at a premium, everybody wants to fly now. International flying is really big. The plane's going to fill up, and no, you're not going to get a discount. You want to book those planes a minimum of 6 months out, but preferably I find that at a year, at 9 months to a year out, you're going to get better choice of seating and better deals, way better deals. So just wanted to share all those things with you all tonight. And I hope you will do the homework and write out a little list of what you can do to find peace every day. Ground yourself on the grass, walk through the forest, do forest bathing, get out in nature, get out in the water, go play in a lake or a pond or a river or ocean. If you're lucky enough to be near an ocean, go swim in the ocean, get that salt water. The salt water actually clears all your chakras. So you're not going to have that in a lake. You're not going to get chakra clearing in a lake. It might be relaxing and good for you to connect with the water, and you're going to ground yourself by going in that water, but it won't clear your chakras. The thing that clears your chakras is the salt water specifically. The salt is a natural energy clearing. It's also why you won't find demons out on the ocean. Ghosts, maybe you'll find ghost ships with ghosts on board, but you're not going to find a demon on the ocean. They do not like that salt water at all. So, in fact, you use salt water and salt around your house to protect it from demons. That's part of demonology 101. Salt in all the windows, salt in all the door jambs, salt in the closets, and yeah, demons won't cross over. That's something that you learn from Wiccans. The Wiccans do that quite a bit. They use salt everywhere. It's a witchy thing. So I have lots of friends who are Wiccans. I'm not a Wiccan. I'm an Essene Cathar Gnostic Christian is what I am. But I have tons of friends who are Wiccans who I love to pieces, and they all use salt for protection. So, and you see that in a lot of the movies in Hollywood. They show you what putting salt around you to protect you. And like in Hocus Pocus movie, she made a circle, and then the bad witch called her a clever witch, clever little good witch, or white witch, or whatever they called her, clever little white witch. Because white witches, we use salt. And I say we because even though I'm not a Wiccan, I've actually been murdered as a witch time and time again, because I'm always a healer and a spiritual teacher in every life that I come back here. And up until this lifetime, when you did that kind of thing, they killed you. So if I was alive now doing everything I do, especially with all the herbal concoctions that I make for healing and the crystals and all the stuff I do, if I was doing this 150 years ago, 200 years ago, they would burn my ass as a witch, or drown me, or hang me, or put me in jail, or whatever. Thank God I did this stuff now, when they can't do that. They're not allowed to. So, all right. Well, thank you all for joining me for another video. And I'm going to go to bed in a little bit here, because it's now 11:35 p.m. Pacific Coast time. But I will see you all on the next video. I promise I will get out at least one more before I I take my social media hiatus and stay the hell off of Facebook, which is just wearing me out. Facebook's exhausting. Oh, and I'm on Telegram, I'm on Signal. I've got all these groups that I'm managing by myself and all these different areas, and it's exhausting. So I need a break. Anyways, love you all. Bye bye.